Okay, so let's solve this Trig equation that has a restricted domain where x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 5 pi. So the first thing we'll do is just see where x is equal to negative 1 over 2 on the unit circle. So let's just say x equals, so x on the unit circle will equal 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. But we see that there's a domain of 5 pi, and this is only between 2 pi. So what we're going to do is take this first root we have and 2 pi over 3 and add 2 pi. So 2 pi is also 6 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is going to be 8 pi over 3. And we keep doing this process until we get something that's 15 pi over 3, which is 5 pi. So 4 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is 10 pi over 3. And then let's see if we can add 6 pi again, or 2 pi. So 8 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is 14 pi over 3. And now, let's see if we can add 2 pi to this. 10 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is 16 pi over 3. But we can't add that because the domain here is between 0 and 5 pi. And 16 pi crosses this domain. So that's why 14 pi over 3 is the biggest solution we have. So that's why these are all the answers. Okay, question 2, we have 2 cosine x plus root 3 equals 0. And the domain is 0 to 3 pi. So first, what we're going to do is isolate cosine x so that it doesn't have any coefficients. So if we just move the root 3 and divide by 2, we'll just end up with cosine x equals negative root 3 over 2. And now all we're going to do is just find where cosine is negative root 3 over 2. And from 0 to 2 pi, that's going to be over 6 and 7 pi over 6. And that's where cosine is negative root 3 over 2. And now, this is between, from 0 to 3 pi. So, let's add 2 pi to both of these to see if there's more values. So, 2 pi with the denominator of 6 is 12 pi over 6. So if we add 2 pi to this, 5 pi over 6 plus 12 pi over 6, that's going to get us to 17 pi over 6. And 3 pi is really 18 pi over 6. So if we added 2 pi to 7 pi over 6, we would be crossing this border. This would be 19 pi over 6. So that's why, and that crosses the border. So these are our 3 answers. Okay, question 3, we have sine of 4 times x minus pi over 4 equals 0. In the domain, x is greater than 0 but less than pi. So this is a little different. So usually we had something that was multiplying by sine or adding to the sine function, but now x is completely changed. So what we do in this scenario is we ignore everything first. So change everything here into just any variable you want, such as a. Let's just say this whole thing is a. So now what we do is we have sine a equals 0. So all this is saying is what value of a will make sine equal to 0? Well, there's only 2 answers to that, and it's 0 and pi. And 0 and pi both work because this is x is greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. But if this said only greater than or only equal, then a would not equal anything. So now what we do is we look at the same domain. And since the x is changing, the domain also has to change. So now what we do is we take the left side of the domain, which is 0, and we put it into this. So 4 times 0 minus pi over 4. And we just have to evaluate that. So 0 minus pi over 4 is the same thing. So negative pi over 4. And 4 times negative pi over 4 is just negative pi. And now we look at the right side as well, which is 4 times, and pi is really 4 pi over 4 minus pi over 4. And 4 pi over 4 minus pi over 4 is 3 pi over 4. And that multiplied by 4 becomes 12 pi over 4, which is 3 pi. So now these are our new domains. So this really turns into pi, negative pi is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3 pi. So this is our new domain. And now what we do with this is we take our two answers that we got from before. So first I'm going to draw a line here and put our domain. So negative pi, and on the bottom we put the right side of the domain, which is 3 pi and 3 pi. Now you might be wondering, what can you even do with this right here? And I'm going to show you. So first you take 0 or any value you want and put it on the left side and put it in the middle. And then you're going to take pi, the second value, and you're also going to put it in the middle. And this is just a visual representation to see if you're crossing the border or not when you're adding 2 pi or subtracting 2 pi. So now all we have to do is let's just choose one of the values. Let's just take 0 and we add 2 pi until we get to the domains. So 0 plus 2 pi is just 2 pi. And 2 pi plus 2 pi is 4 pi, which is somewhere over here, and it crosses that domain. So we're going to stick with 2 pi over here. And now let's see if we can subtract anything. 0 minus 2 pi is negative 2 pi, which crosses this domain, so we can't do anything. And now pi plus 2 pi is going to equal 3 pi, and that works because it's less than or equal to. And now pi minus 2 pi is negative pi, and that is also going to work. So now we have these 5 values. So we turn 2 values into 5 values. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to use the same thing that we used to change our domain. And except putting the x as our domain, we're going to put x as these 5 values we got right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, these are just the domains. So what we're going to do is have 4 times x minus pi over 4 equal negative pi. You should probably go from the least to greatest. Just make it easier on yourself. So negative pi, 0, pi, 2 pi, and 3 pi. And now all you're going to do is just solve for x. And whenever you do something on the left side, you have to do it to all these values. So divide by 4 both sides. You're going to divide by 4 both sides here as well. And now you have x minus pi over 4 equals negative pi over 4, 0, pi over 4, 2 pi over 4. Also, avoid simplifying anything because you're still going to have to change these values. And 3 pi over 4. So even though 2 pi over 4 is really pi over 2, just keep it the same for now. And let's work on this side of the board over here. So x minus pi over 4 equals negative pi over 4, 0, pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, and 3 pi over 4. Okay, now all we're going to do is just add pi over 4 to all these values. Plus pi over 4, and you can just say plus pi over 4. Okay, now negative pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is 0. And 0 plus pi over 4 is pi over 4. Pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is 2 pi over 4, and that's the same thing as pi over 2. Now we can simplify and make the smallest denominator because we're not changing anything else. And 2 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is 3 pi over 4. And last one, 3 pi over 4 plus pi over 4 is just pi. And that's our final answer. We have 5 values here: 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. Okay, number 4 is similar to the last one we did. So first thing we're going to do is isolate so that sign has no coefficients. So we're just going to divide by 2 on both sides. And now we're left with sine 2 times x minus pi over 3 equals negative root 3 over 2. And now once again, we're going to set this whole thing equal to a. So now we have sine a equals negative root 3 over 2. And now, where is sine negative root 3 over 2 on the unit circle? So just a equals, so that's going to be 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay, now we're going to come back to this. And now we're going to take this domain and once again, we're going to expand it. So let's draw a line here. And this time it's 2 times x minus pi over 3. So 2 times 0 minus pi over 3 equals, so 2 times negative pi over 3 is just negative 2 pi over 3. And now 2 times 2 pi, which is just 6 pi over 3, minus pi over 3 is going to equal, so 5 pi over 3 times 2 is 10 pi over 3. And now we have our new domain. So this whole thing becomes 0. Actually, not 0. It's going to be negative 2 pi over 3 and 10 pi over 3. Okay, now we're going to find our new values. So we're going to draw this line again. So negative 2 pi over 3 on the top and 10 pi over 3. Okay, now we're going to put our values in the middle. So 4 pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. Okay, so let's add 2 pi to 4 pi over 3. 2 pi is 6 pi over 3. So 4 pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3 is 10 pi over 3. And that is in the domain. And now if we subtract 4 pi over 3, we're going to get negative 2 pi over 3, which is also in the domain. Okay, now let's add 5 pi over 3. We're going to get 11 pi over 3, which is beyond the domain. So that's not an answer. And now if we subtract 5 pi over 3, we're going to get negative pi over 3, which is in the domain. And now we have to put all these x values into this function here to get our new answers. So let's just draw a line here. So we have 2 times x minus pi over 3 equals, and let's start from the least to greatest, so negative 2 pi over 3, negative pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, and last one, 10 pi over 3. So if we divide by 2, we're going to end up with x minus pi over 3 equals negative 2 pi over 6, negative pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, and last one, 10 pi over 6. But we're not done yet because we still have to add pi over 3. So let's go up here now. So x minus pi over 3 equals, so negative 2 pi over 6. Okay, now we're just going to add pi over 3 to everything here. So plus pi over 3. And now x equals negative 2 pi over 6 plus pi over 3. Actually, let's just say this is 2 pi over 6 because everything else is in denominator 6. So negative 2 pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6 is 0. Negative pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6 is pi over 6. 4 pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6 is just pi. 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6. And last one, 10 pi over 6 plus 2 pi over 6 is 12 pi over 6, which is just ends up being 2 pi. And these are our answers.